Unai Emery brought his weapon, John Duran. I was like, this guy gets gonna score today as well. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Ball and Beyond Talks. We are back again. Today with me I have Kavindra, Bipul and Ujit. So let's get into it, get the weekly dose of football talks. I would like to start with Champions League, guys. It was interesting matches this week, full of surprises. Let's start with Real Madrid. In La Liga, Real Madrid, and in Champions League, again, Real Madrid. What happened, Bipul?
Right, yeah, that's the hot topic right now, right? Yeah, before I jump into Real Madrid, I want to talk about this game, right? Today's game that we played against Lille. And I want to talk about the Lille youngsters, man. Look at them. They're like 18, 19 years old players, and then they're giving everything for their team, right? Their goalkeeper, Lucas. What a game he had today. I mean, too many saves, too many blocks from the defenders as well, right? They made a history today against Real Madrid after winning that first game in Champions League. And talking about Real Madrid, we had a busy week for sure. First, making a draw against Atletico Madrid in La Liga. It was a good derby for sure. And it was pretty tense. And then coming to Champions League and losing this game against Lille today. And we are ending our 36 game winning streak against Lille. So it's kind of frustrating to see that. I mean, we had a pretty bad game for sure today, right? And there was a change in the starting lineup also. I saw Enrique and Camavinga starting, and we conceded a goal from penalty as well, right? I feel really bad for my guy, Camavinga, where he had to come after a long injury, and then he made a handball and cost us that unlucky penalty, right? And I'm pretty sure we performed really bad today. Even Carlo was frustrated. All the players were frustrated. I was frustrated watching the game, right? But we did have lots of chances in the box for sure in this game, and even Rudiger was there playing as a number 9 as a striker role for a few minutes, and Vini and all, they were all over the field and supplying those crosses in the box to get that equalizer. But we couldn't pass those tight defense of Lille for sure, and we would be 2 goals down if Lunin was not there, saving those goals. And then he did really good, and what a player he is, right? We already saw him in last season, and then since Kodo is out for his injury, we can always count on him. And even after the game, right, I saw Carlos' frustration. He also mentioned that they were very bad in every aspect of the game, and it's just that the second round of Shield, so there are a few more games we have to deal with in the league round, right, and the Champions League. Yep. And then we have a long way to go for this round itself, and I'm pretty sure that this loss will motivate the players and the coach to perform better in the future games.
Yep. And one question, right? Mm-hmm. So, before we were predicting Galacticos is there, I know Mbappe is still missing with the injury, but with Galacticos, we have seen always there is problem in PSG, in, different teams. Is it what's happening, maybe the chemistry is breaking up a little bit?
I wouldn't say that. It's just the rotation of the players that Carlo is trying to do. Enrique starting and Camavinga after injury, and Rodrigo in the serve, right? So this kind of rotation we usually see, like I said in the previous talks, where we want this kind of rotation for the other players to rest and then come back with the good tactics, good playmakers, and all those. It's more of the coach, how he manages the team, and we already saw how good Carlo is. We already have seen him in the past managing these Galacticos, and I'm not worried about breaking the chemistry because of the superstars. It should be the other way. We should be winning all the games, and I know we didn't see that much today because injuries and then the unlucky penalty, we conceded a goal, right? In a big games, in a big platforms like Champions League, this kind of games always happen, and then always in Champions League we always come back. So I'm not worried right now.
Let's see what happens. I mean, maybe you guys are missing Mbappe with his creativity. All right, so moving on, we had a good game for Barcelona, except in La Liga. What do you think, Kavindra, with the inconsistency between league game and the UCL?
Yeah, exactly. During the midweek, we had the La Liga game against Osasuna, right? I think Hansi Flick, he was trying different with not starting our first squad. He was starting the second squad, although we had Pedri in the midfield, who has been outstanding this season. But unfortunately, Osasuna, they are also really doing good this season. They are in top 7 position in the La Liga table. So So he shouldn't have underestimated Osasuna, but definitely looking into the Champions League, he might have rested them. So not happy with the Osasuna's loss in the La Liga, but definitely looking at our Champions League game yesterday, I would give 100% credit to Pedri. He was really good throughout the midfield, and always Rafinha. He has been moving around. Either he has been in the left wing, either right wing, or as a center mid, anywhere he's able to play now. So pretty happy with these Rafinha's position these days. And as always, Lewandowski under Flick. We are seeing that effect already in Champions League as well as in the La Liga as well. So yes, happy with this Champions League game this week. Got some motivation to fight against Bayern Munich in the next game.
I think that 8-2 is flashing back for Barcelona fans. So yeah, Barcelona definitely did their good part good, and then this time, like last time, Hansi Flick is in Barcelona side and Lewandowski as well, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, with the loss with Aston Villa, Bayern Munich looks a little bit shaky this time, right?
Yeah, it's on October 23rd, so it's still 20 days to go. But yes, looking at today's Bayern Munich game, it was a neck game, but with their loss, I think in the Champions League, we can definitely take the advantage over Bayern Munich. It's in our home, so we are
So,
that game.
and moving on to, interesting fixtures this week with the UCL. Aston Villa beating Bayern Munich. What do you say, Uzit?
Yeah, it was a amazing game. The youngsters from Aston Villa, you can see like Morgan Rogers, Jadon Philozine playing brilliantly like till the last minute. They have that hunger. Unai Emery, like he has like bring these youngsters. Now the Morgan Rogers is starting like almost every game, and you see John Duran like came off the bench and he scored the winning goal for Aston Villa. I just like to see these kind of things, like youngster coming off from the youth team and then rising in the top level of football. And today's game against Bayern Munich at Villa Park was the right moment to show their talent, to show their level, and to show why they are in the Champions League. And I will shout out to Divo again, Emiliano Martinez. That guy, what a game today!
What a game! Yes,
What a game today! Yeah.
That save, from that shoot from Olise. I thought he was going in.
Yeah, any other keeper that will go in, I mean, 99 times out of 100, but is a golden ball winning keeper from the World Cup. And I feel like Emiliano Martinez was the difference between Aston Villa and Bayern Munich.
Yeah, that point, I was looking at the game today, and then that point when Unai Emery brought his weapon, John Duran, I was like, this guy gonna score today as well. I got that feeling that he will score. And the minute, it was how many, 5-6 minutes into the game, he entered that brilliant shot from outside the box. He was not even looking at the post. He was so aware about where the keeper is, where the post is, and then, that brilliancy, that's so, good from a striker at that level.
Yeah, he been doing these things in the Premier League. I mean, you got Oli Watkins, another brilliant striker, but John Duran, he's been doing amazing coming off the bench and doing this at the Champions League game against Bayern Munich. Now this will pressurize Unai Emery to start John Duran as well.
Yeah, and talking about in terms of Bayern Munich, right? They were creating so many chances, but what do you think they really missed?
I think just the clinicality was not there. They were playing the ball so brilliant, in both wings. You see that Pavlovic, Kimmich, Leimer, three of those guys can play ball all day. So they had a good game. I will say some of the times Gnabry, Coman couldn't make the right decision at the right time. And in the second half, I will say they took their chances. Villa centre backs didn't let them to shoot inside the box as they made more compact in the D box, and on the top of that, again, Divu did fantastic to stuff the brilliant saves. So those things stopped Bayern Munich to score the goal today.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
and
then
one thing I wanted to highlight here, right, on the Bayern's loss against Aston Villa, it was a shock, pretty sure. They're the big giant of Germany, and then coming in Champions League and losing with Aston Villa was a shock for everyone. And I think their defense is to blame here for sure for that counter and what a strike from Duran for sure. But either Upamecano has to cover that flank quicker when there was a counter strike coming in. What a strike from Duran for sure from that 50-yard distance. And I think looking at this, I see Kavi already smiling, right? So looking at this win, Barca, I mean, is looking very strong. And then after seeing Bayern losing a game against Aston Villa, I mean, Aston Villa is a good team too. Don't get me wrong, they're really good. And in the Premier League also, they're performing really good. And then their players, I know Ujit and Utsap already mentioned about how good the strikers are right now, right? Watkins and Duran and all those players. But whenever it comes to Champions League, all the underdogs, like we saw against Real Madrid, what a game they performed, right? So every underdogs teams, they're like performing super good, and then that's how we see in the Champions League, and we're gonna see more of these games coming on in coming future too.
Yeah, but I mean, that's true, right? You know, Bayern Munich really, got caught in their defense. But I'm just looking at the stats here from the Bayern Munich, and then the 17 shots from Bayern Munich and 7 on target, and then 70% possession and 90% passing accuracy. I think keeper really did good.
Yeah, this Champions League format, in comparison with before, there used to be like 2 games like in the same team, right, home and away.
Yep.
And like the small teams, they used to fear playing the big teams at the home, and they know that they are not getting any points in the big teams home. Now, like before, it was about the 180 minutes of the game, but now you have to only play like 90 minutes with one team, right? So if you like give 100% and play to your best, then I believe like any small team will beat the big team.
Yep. And remember we were talking about this Champions League format, and we were saying we'll see something new, right? And there's already something new there. Small unexpected results. That's what we want to see,
Exactly.
right? More chaos. I mean, more chaos. We don't know who is going to end up in that top 8. Yep. And talking about small team, big teams, and all that, Arsenal versus PSG game. I see PSG doing good with all the stats, right? Position, passing, and everything. But at the end, Arsenal looks better. How is that possible?
I think it's all about the winning goals and the mentality they have right now, man. They don't want to lose any game, right? And then the level of performance they put in the pitch right now, it's amazing to see that. And then they are on it, man. They're on it. And then in the Premier League also, we have been seeing that. And they don't want to lose any game. They don't want to even draw any game. So they always want to go and then get that win. And then that's what happened in PSG game. Although they didn't have much ball, PSG had a lot of balls, and the attacking games they couldn't capitalize for sure. And Arsenal always ready for hunger and then get that win. And then that's what it matters for Champions League.
Yep.
Also.
Yeah, in that game as well, I think a goalkeeper Raya, he really played a good role in that game as well. There were some good shots from PSG, and he was able to save those shots as well. Looking at the stat, PSG was better, but it's all about mentality. Arsenal, they were playing at home, like Bipul said, right? But they have the mentality that they don't want to lose the game. Either they draw it or they win it. And once they scored 2-0 in the first half, and then they were pretty much sure, like, we're gonna do park the bus like we did in the city last week. Yeah, that was the outcome. And PSG fans, we are missing him because of that game. We know that, but it must be really.
And let me clear that up. Kavindra is referring to Ganesh as a PSG fan.